Tower of God was a decent show with a crazy cliffhanger, but Season 2 has really changed what the show is. In this video, without spoiling anything, I am going to go over its vibe and best and worst aspects to see if this is an anime for you. Tower of God is a fantasy, battle shonen style drama, where groups of humans and alien-like creatures take tests to climb a massive tower that promises wealth, fame, power, answers, or whatever your heart's desire at the top. In this respect, Tower of God often feels a lot like Hunter x Hunter, and I mean that in a very good way. It has much less focus on the power system, and there aren't any of the extremely slow, chess match-like fights going on, but there are tests, which usually consist of some kind of team game that must be completed to get to the next floor. Most of these games are very interesting and use each character's skills very well. This way, even the weakest characters have roles to play. The second main aspect is a drama between characters or political factions. This aspect is more apparent in Season 2, which makes it sound even more like Hunter x Hunter. But Tower of God is very unique and doesn't fall into most of the common tropes you'd expect it to, with a few exceptions. On to the characters. They are good, but I wouldn't say they are masterfully written, at least not in the first 2 seasons. There are really good moments with them, and certain characters are standouts, but there are also some really cliche moments, like explaining their backstory right before they die. Despite that, it's easy to grow attached to the main groups and watch each relationship grow. Because of the situations the story puts them in, the characters don't necessarily need to be the best. The plot really shines in Tower of God. Every test has been exciting, and there's a lot of interesting stuff happening in the background. That's not to mention all the mysteries about the tower, King Jihad, and the other unknown aspects of this world. In the first season, the world building is very vague. It takes a bit to get used to, as everything you see is almost dreamlike, and very little beyond the tower is explained. For that matter, even the tower itself isn't explained. You never see anything like the map of the Abyss from Made in Abyss to give a clear visual of what the tower really is. Being so self-contained, it was hard to get a footing. However, Season 2 feels completely different. It massively opens up the world, and although it doesn't give answers to most of the questions, it does feel much more grounded by showing us what life is like in this fantasy world. Speaking of Season 2, one of the biggest complaints about Season 2 is the animation. Overall, Tower of God's animation was never incredible. Season 1 had a very unique art style that they changed to look more like a generic fantasy anime for Season 2. I don't really care that much, and I don't hate the change, but the animation has been a clear downgrade. There are moments that look pretty good, but there's also moments that look really bad. It's very inconsistent. Despite some clear flaws in this very ambitious story, I am a fan of Tower of God. There is something really special here, and the overall story is very enjoyable. I recommend checking it out if you don't have too high of expectations, and if you like the battle, relationship drama type of storytelling. Thanks for watching. Check out this previous review on the top card of the end screen. That's all from me. Jamyo.